Hello, everyone, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Stan, and I am the Shadow Seeker. In this episode, I intend to do a mini reading focusing and diving into the shadow aspects of the collective. I have been really feeling this sort of intense feeling lately about shadow work and the shadow aspects of what's going on within the collective. Not really sure what has caused me to really feel this way or really want to dive deep into this, but it's possible that someone within the collective is going through some difficulties within their life when it comes to certain shadow aspects of themselves, certain aspects that they are trying to repress or try to conceal at the present moment. And so I hope to offer some sort of insight into that particular dynamic or that thread of energy. This reading came to me from a fellow friend of mine who really has started their tarot journey, and they are really interested in learning about different tarot spreads. So this is a particular spread that they came up with that they utilize for themselves within their daily spiritual practices. So I thought this would be a wonderful spread to do for the collective. But before we dive into that, I am going to look into the current energy of the collective. This should help understand certain shadow aspects or where we need to focus on in terms of doing shadow work within ourselves. So, as I was shuffling the deck, my right ear started to ring. And before I continue saying what I'm about to say, I know that sometimes you can receive spiritual downloads or spiritual signs, and they can come in many different forms, many different ways. But it's always best to use your intuition on how you receive certain information or certain sensory downloads. And with that being said, I'm also not a medical professional. So if you do have certain ailments or certain physical sensations that you might consider out of the ordinary or not normal for you, it's always best to go see a doctor, because I'm definitely not any shape, way, or form any kind of medical practitioner. But one thing I do know about ringing in the ear, I'm feeling that this is someone's spirit team or spirit guides trying to come through and communicate a certain set of messages here. And so the first card that we have here in the spread, and this is really interesting too, and I usually say this in previous episodes whenever I use my What's the Vibe Oracle deck, that I don't intend to read these cards or receive the messages with the card being reversed. But of course, I'm going to take it the way it is. But I never set the intention to read these particular cards in reversed. And so we have the apology card in the reverse position, and it says arrogant, it says rash actions, and it says insecure. And it's got a really interesting photo on it of this cat. And I don't know why that really stands out. I know that there's like certain spiritual meanings to cats. The cat that's in the photo, it's not a black cat, in case anyone was wondering, but it just looks like an ordinary house cat. And for some reason, I'm just getting this feeling or this sensation of some sort of relationship dynamic. And there could have been a lot of kindness to it. I don't know why that came up the way it came up, but that's just how it feels. And immediately, I'm getting relationship vibes with this particular card. So it really feels here that somebody is seeking or intending to come in, someone that you may have been connected with on a deep personal level. You may even feel like you've had a spiritual connection or some sort of outer worldly connection that really transcends the normal range of human emotions or human feelings, whatever that may look like for you. So, this could be like a high level soulmate, this could be a twin flame, this could be some sort of other divine connection with some sort of person that really truly meant a lot to you. And so, the interesting thing about this card, especially in this position, so if I was to take this in the upright position, if it would have came out that way, it would have shown me that, or the messages would have came through rather, in this sense of someone wanting to apologize, but they may come across as arrogant or rash or rather insincere when it comes to delivering this particular type of apology. And so, with this being reversed from those things that are listed on this card, it really feels like someone is wanting to come in with a very sincere apology. Someone wants to come in and really make amends with something that occurred within some sort of relationship dynamic, something that was really profound, something that really hurt or really touched the core. I'm getting a lot of like heart chakra vibes. I'm also getting some throat chakra vibes as well too. So it really feels like this has been a long time coming. It really feels as if this is something that you either have been waiting for or this other person has really been in their sort of mind, really thinking heavily about how they can come and do this. It really feels like they're trying to right some sort of severe wrong. So only you would know what this means. But it really feels like some sort of sincere energy. But this next card here says intimacy. And again, this is in the reverse position. It flung out in reversed. And it says mutual respect, unity, and it says closeness. I really feel like this is current energy. I really feel like right now, or it really felt as if whatever this bond was, it was a very intimate bond. So I'm getting something that was like more than friends. I'm getting something where the relationship on the outside physically really resembled something that was very intense and very intimate. So maybe people assumed that you were a couple or you were a relationship or that you were sort of meant to be together in a very strong, deep romance type of way. But the relationship doesn't feel as if it was ever like that. Although there were these sort of lines that were crossed, at least that's how it feels. And so I'm sensing that the current state of this particular connection is definitely not like this anymore. It's where the intimacy has sort of died or sort of halted, or it's like you don't even know this person anymore. And I'm getting the vibe too that when this person comes in, when they do make a move to try to apologize for whatever wrong they did, you're not going to know this person. They're going to be completely different from the way that they were. The dynamic really has shifted, is what it feels. So they could have done a lot of inner work on themselves, a lot of shadow work, a lot of coming together to be their most authentic self. They really have done a lot of inner healing, is what it feels like. And so when they come in, they're going to be this completely different person from what you once knew. But I'm also getting this vibe that you're kind of stuck on the way that they were. And if you are, it means that you need to open up your heart to the possibilities of people changing. Change is a really constant thing. It's like one of the most universal constants that we deal with in this existence. And so it really feels as if the more you close off to this, the more stagnant things are going to be. Although you have free will, so it's up to you on whether or not you want to accept this person's apology, accept this person back in your life. No one's telling you to do anything. So definitely utilize your intuition. Your intuition is definitely the compass of what occurs in your life. So it's up to you how you want to do this. Okay, this next card says puzzled and it says confused, perplexed, conflicted. So whatever is going to happen here when it comes to this apology, when it comes to this reunion, it's going to leave you in a sense of confusion. And again, it really stems from a lot of the inner work that this person has done and how they've changed energetically. And it's going to leave you really conflicted on whether or not you should move forward with it or if you should just let things be the way it is. So, again, it's really up to you on how you want to move forward. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. You don't have to be a part of this person's life anymore. You don't have to let them be a part of your life. You don't have to let them rule your emotions or rule your mindset anymore. You really are free of this connection, is what it feels like. But it's up to you if you want to start fresh, start anew, or if you want to just allow things to be the way that it is. But this person is coming with something heartfelt, and it's just up to you on how you want to take it. So now I want to see if I can shift away from that particular energetic dynamic that came through. I feel like that is a separate message, but then again, this might come across again. We'll see what happens. But I want to see if we can dive into the current repressed energy of the collective and see how we can move forward with this particular type of energy. So I'm going to be shifting to the tarot. Okay, so I can see that we're not shifting away with this first card that comes out. We have the Five of Swords in the reversed position. Immediately, I'm still channeling or feeling as if we're talking about this relationship dynamic. So I'm picking up that this particular person, I'm getting this masculine energy, and it really feels like this person is yearning for a reconciliation. They are in this energy where they want to release the conflict, the tension, whatever disagreements happened between the two of you. And it really feels as if they have this renewed sense of purpose or this renewed sense of trying to clear something. Okay, so I have to pause right here because I intended this reading to be a reading about shadow work and how the collective can work through the shadow aspects of themselves. But this seems really specific here. Somebody's spirit team is coming through really strongly here, and they want me to talk about this particular masculine energy. And so it feels as if this particular masculine has finally done the shadow work. They finally done the inner work within themselves to really better themselves, to really make themselves rejuvenated or make themselves better than what they were. They really are releasing a lot of limiting beliefs, a lot of negative thought patterns, a lot of things that were really holding them back from being their most authentic self. They are really learning from the mistakes that they've made in the past, the mistakes they've made with you, the mistakes they've made within themselves. And they are really in this particular growth and expansion type of era. They've learned some sort of significant lesson. And I'm really picking up that it's around self worth. And so this might resonate with certain people in the collective that have the core karmic lesson of self worth, but they really have stepped into this new type of energy where they are no longer running away from certain types of energetic dynamics that used to trigger them and make them feel uncomfortable or keep them trapped in this lower vibrational frequency. They are trying to expand and really align with the highest potential timeline for themselves, whatever that may look like for them. They are really trying to do the best that they can do so that they can be the best for who they can be, energetically speaking. And they're really trying to show up for themselves in this new particular light. This really feels very authentic. This doesn't feel as if this is manipulating or deceiving. But I'm also picking up that when this occurs, when this meeting occurs, when they try to apologize, you are going to have a lot of doubts when it comes to this. You are going to be really kind of trapped within your mind, thinking about the past version of the way that this person was. This person really does not have any resentments or any sort of lingering feelings about what occurred. They're really trying to move forward. So that could be a sign that you should do the same, whatever that looks like for you. Whether, again, that means that you want to reconnect with the person, or if you want to just allow things to be the way they are, but to continue to move on with your life and not be held back by what occurred within that particular relationship dynamic. So there's a sense of residual resentment on your part. And I'm also sensing that you may feel that there's some sort of old wound that is being reopened here. And there's a lot of fear and possible tension on your part when it comes to this because you're really stuck on how this person was to you because I'm really picking up that they really weren't acting according to the way that they should have been acting, energetically speaking. They should have showed up in a more emperor type of energy, someone that was more secure and more action oriented, but they chose to be on what I consider a divergent timeline and to have sort of this sort of animosity between the two of you in a sense. But I'm really picking out that this wasn't meant to happen in the particular way that it did, but because it happened the way that it did, it's allowing them to expand. It's allowing them to grow and finally be the person that they were always sort of meant to be. It feels that the reason why they're doing this is because you've done so much inner work within yourself over the past year, over the past several years. And it really seems like the more that you're connecting with your truest timeline, your truest highest potential, it seems that this person is doing the same as well. So there really is a sense of a lot of mirroring here when it comes to this particular type of dynamic. Now, the second part of this reading, I meant to see where this wound was caused. So we're going to see if I can pick up on how the wound, how the pain was caused within this connection. Okay, and two cards flung out. So we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse position. It's really funny because I was going to say the Knight of Pentacles. So that could have been significant there. The Knight of Pentacles in tarot is the slowest moving knight, and that could have been indicating that your person felt really stuck within their life. They felt as if things were at a standstill or they were jogging in place, and that there was no forward momentum when it came to all aspects of their life, but particularly their love life. And with this King of Pentacles here, I'm sensing that the wound was centered around their 3D. So it really feels as if that this person saw themselves in this lack mindset. The King of Pentacles is this really strong, abundant energy when it comes to material things. And this person really did not feel as if they had anything to offer you in the 3D at all. They felt as if their resources were limited. They felt as if nothing truly manifested for them in the physical in terms of monetary value. And it also felt as if they had nothing to offer you. But I'm picking up that you didn't necessarily care about anything that had to do with 3D aspects as far as monetary value goes. I'm really picking up that what you cared about mostly was the energetic bond between the two of you. So, how this person could have supported you emotionally or mentally, not necessarily physically, because that doesn't feel like that's where you relied on this person. But this person really was in, I'm really getting a Five of Pentacles type of energy. They were just in this sense of despair and this sense of despondency where they felt as if nothing manifested for them or really went right in the 3D. So it really felt as if they were stuck in the mud, or it really felt as if they just had absolutely nothing to their name of any kind of value. They really cared a lot about status. And that's something that you don't care about. You really care about how you perceive yourself in a more energetic sense. But this person really was stuck in the ego and they cared more about 3D physical aspects, which is what you completely didn't care about. And we also have the Three of Swords here in reverse position. So they were faced with some sort of emotional wound from the past that really held them back from being able to be truly in this loving sense. It's like their heart literally was crushed or really had broke from some sort of past energetic hurt. I'm getting something about a karmic feminine or some sort of feminine dynamic that was really profound for them. It could have been their first love, it could have been their first marriage or something centered around a first. And maybe this was their most, or I should say, first profound breakup. And it sort of led to them being in this energy of perceiving relationships in a very negative connotation. So if this was a person that had a really major relationship with somebody, this would have been their first major relationship. And what transpired in that relationship shaped the way that they perceive future relationships. And this is definitely a core wound. So this could be centered around self love, but I'm still picking up on self worth. So they feel like they're not worthy of any type of true love, love that's really enriching, love that's really abundant and unconditional. They've been used to being in substandard relationships that never really went anywhere, and it was all about physical aspects. And so when they were introduced to this particular energetic bond with you, where you came from the heart and you had unconditional love for this type of person, they were really not receptive to that type of energy because this is something that they've never have known throughout their entire life. And they are just in this extremely triggered state at the moment, but because they feel really compelled to work on that particular thread of energy within themselves. And so they went through a lot of triggering stages, but they are still currently triggered, but they know that they need to continue this growth and this expansion because they know that something impactful is about to happen, some sort of breakthrough. So, as we close this reading, we have here the Seven of Wands in the reverse position. A lot of reversals in this particular reading. And this card is meant to represent advice from spirit on how to deal with this energetic wound here. And so, Spirit is really saying right now that it's essential to examine whatever barriers you've put up and consider being more flexible and open minded with your approaches. And so This does not feel like your energy. It feels like this person's energy, this masculine's energy. And so, really, this person really has been doing a lot of introspection or will be doing a lot of introspection. And they will be coming through in a less restricted type of manner. I really get the sense that this person was very much closed off or had really strong energetic walls or barriers, but they are learning the more they expand to release things that no longer serve them. And some of these things that they're releasing are these barriers that are preventing certain manifestations from coming in. And so at the bottom of the deck, wow, we have more reversals. Okay, we have the Eight of Swords reversed, we have the Hermit reversed, and we also have the Magician reversed. So yeah, there's a lot of introspection that this person is doing, a lot of critical thinking at the present moment. And they are really battling some sort of internal battle right now about how they want to approach you when it comes to delivering some sort of apology or letting you know something that they feel is really crucial for their particular growth and expansion at this time. So, the best thing to do in this particular situation is to allow things to unfold naturally. Don't do anything that is going to cause certain variables to happen, or don't do anything consciously to try to manipulate the circumstances here, is what this set of cards right here at the bottom of the deck is saying. Because when you do this, you'll create an avenue of the least amount of resistance for this divine masculine to come through. This divine masculine is planning to come through. And when they do, they will be quite sure about how they want to approach you because they've done all of the inner work and all of the thinking to release a lot of this self doubt, these inner critic beliefs that they have. And you'll be quite surprised when this person does make the effort to reach out to you. But really, in this particular time, the best thing to do is just to rely heavily on your divine feminine energy and just be in receptive mode for when this person comes back. Because again, you do not have to take this person back. You can choose to allow things to continue to be as they are, or if you do feel that your intuition is calling to you and saying that you can accept the new version of this particular person back into your life, then by all means, but the choice is really ultimately up to you. So that's what I have for my beautiful collective. And I do apologize because I intended this reading to be diving more deeper into shadow aspects, not necessarily this type of relationship dynamic, but somebody's spirit guides or spirit team really came through strongly here. So I could not ignore these messages, but I do hope that something in here was helpful and possibly gained you some sort of clarity on this particular situation. I do wish everyone a warm and restful Sunday, and I will see you in the next episode.